Hello, this is Reed from OBO. Today I'm going to be taking you through how to leverage some of the new AI features that HubSpot has released in the past few weeks and months. These features are either currently available through public beta or are just generally live inside of HubSpot today. The first feature I want to show is AI assistance and using AI assistance inside of marketing material to actually generate content as kind of a starting point for your content. So inside of any marketing page, so whether that be a landing page, a website page, marketing emails, anything like that, once you have the feature turned on, you'll be able to start using the AI assistant. So if we actually highlight any text, you'll see a lightning bolt come up and you get some options of rewriting that text, expanding upon it, shortening it, changing the tone of it to help you build upon and change your content. So let's just say I don't entirely like the title of this webinar. Let's rewrite it. Let's get some options here. So we get an option. Maybe I don't like this one so much. I can say, all right, let's just generate another one. I don't like that one. Let's generate another one. All right, I think I like this one the best. Insert, and we now have a new title there. Obviously, we could go in and manually edit this to make it be what we need it to be, but showing an option there. Another option is then in the actual content itself, we can start off with maybe a one sentence description or a paragraph description of what we're trying to explain, and then use the AI assistant to expand upon that. So we just wrote using AI to power business decisions in real time. In a real case scenario, I'd definitely expand upon this and be more specific about what we were doing this webinar for. But for this example, we'll go ahead with this. If we highlight that and go ahead and expand, we get an option for an expansion. So let's just go ahead and generate again, and let's go ahead and insert. So we now have a paragraph from that singular sentence that is talking about what was mentioned in the original sentence. From here, you could then obviously edit as you need. You can also rewrite it completely. You could expand again. You could shorten, and you could also change the tone. So we could go for a more educational tone, say insert, and whatever it might be. But showing this, you can really get the idea of how you could work on building some content yourself, using AI to fix or rewrite some things or to come up with some new ideas that you can then iterate upon and use the AI assistant as kind of, as it sounds, your assistant to help you build content. The next thing I want to show is ChatSpot. ChatSpot was HubSpot's first go into AI. It's on a different site that is connected to HubSpot, and it functions very similar to how ChatGPT does, but it has templates that are really good at specific functionality that can be super helpful in the context of what we're doing inside of HubSpot. So if you click on your portal in the top right, you'll see a chatspot.ai that we'll want to click, and we'll get to here. So we can start chatting directly with ChatSpot here. But what I suggest doing is actually going to templates. And templates are things that it's specifically really good at. So it's broken down into categories here. But on like company insights, for instance, we can find company news. We can do general research on a company, maybe that we're working with, find competitors. We can also use it to prospect, so we can use it to discover companies. And we can also use it to do HubSpot specific things. So it has access to the HubSpot Academy. It has access to the HubSpot knowledge base. So you can actually use this to troubleshoot things in HubSpot as well. And it does have some CRM capabilities as well. So this will generate a report for you of a count of contacts, for count of objects, for instance, or a report showing web traffic. And this could be a starting point for reports, or maybe this is a report that you just have, a reporting need that you have. You also have the ability to interact with objects. So you can summarize a company record. You can update or add stuff from here as well. So there's a lot of different things you can do in that context. I want to show a prospecting example. So let's do discover companies by size and technology. So let's find uh, greater than 500 employees who use HubSpot. And that'll take a second to run here. And we now got this list back, and it found 6,500 companies essentially of uh, greater than 500 employees who are using HubSpot. So from here, we could then research the company, get a description, get a bunch of stuff here. We could then add them to HubSpot. So we are going to go ahead and add, and we added the company, and let's view in HubSpot, and we now have Monday.com as a option with some of their properties filled out. So really good way to prospect, kind of using that interface there. If we go back to templates as well, we can do some other things. So let's go ahead and do some research, or actually do some company insights. So let's say research, maybe we sell to Microsoft. They're an ideal customer for us. Let's find some competitors of Microsoft, as I think those might be people that are good for us. So it's then going to go off and find competitors of Microsoft that we could say, all right, this makes sense. Let's go ahead and research or add to HubSpot from here. So really cool prospecting functionality inside of here. And again, you can do stuff outside of a prospecting realm, doing HubSpot specific things, generating images, marketing, emails, whatever it might be. I'm going to be showing AI assistance with workflows and reports to help us kind of clean up and maintain our instance. So if you're like a lot of people in HubSpot, you might have tons of workflows that look a lot like this, with an unnamed workflow, not super well named workflows, no descriptions on them. And the AI assistant can help us add some context and descriptions to a lot of our workflows by just including one extra step when we're building out a workflow. So if we go in this deal closed workflow here, we can see it's being triggered when deal stage is any of closed one in the sales pipeline. It then increments that deal amount by 1,000, and it also sends an internal email notification to the deal owner. If we actually click the pencil, we can see there's an option for a description. So we could write this ourselves to be whatever description we want it to be. There's also the generate button. Go ahead and click generate. It's going to look at our workflow and come up with a description of what's actually happening here. And for an example like this, where it's a relatively simple workflow, it's going to do a really good job of giving us an exact description. So it's going to send an internal notification when deal goes closed one and sets the amount property to increment by 1,000. So that's exactly what this workflow does. And this description is spot on. So we could save this, and we now actually have a description and one extra click for this workflow. For super complex workflows, it does do a good job, but you'll probably want to, like anything AI does, make sure it's correct and potentially make edits to the description as needed. But this will help us keep our HubSpot instance clean going forward by helping us add descriptions to everything. So we're going to go ahead and save that. We can also do a similar thing on the reporting end. So if we go over to reports, and we can look at one of these reports. So if we go into this email average time to close by rep, and we click about, this is the ability for a description here, and we get the ability to generate here as well. So if we click generate, we are going to get a description of what this report does. So shows average time based on source. And that looks like it's right. Let's go ahead and save that. And again, we now have a description that can be used and seen when leveraging and using this report to give context, and also when we come back and edit it, have an idea of what's going on without having to dive too deep into the data and filters. So again, just two quick use cases where super easy, one click, and you get a really good starting point to help keep your HubSpot clean going forward.